Hello everybody, my name is Bimpe-Kayode. Thank you so much for joining me again on another edition of Affectionate Ties. Alright, on today's episode, I quickly want to share with you something that happened to me some years back between myself and my husband and what I learned from it. So straight into the story. Some years back, my husband decided to help out with the laundry and I was so grateful and I was happy because he did that. Like 2 days later, I also wanted to do a little laundry and immediately I uncovered the top to the washing machine. I saw an unpleasant sight. It was so unpleasant, I just didn't like what I saw, the dirty water, dirty clothes inside the washing machine, and I stood there for some minutes. I was blank. I didn't like what I saw.
Torena, what's the meaning of what you get in the washing machine? What's the meaning of that? And see, if you know that you are not going to help me anyway, please, in the name of God, don't add to my stress. Why would you say that you were going to help me to wash and then you leave the dirty water in the washing machine? What kind of rubbish is that?
And then I began lashing out, went to my husband, I was talking at him, I was nagging, I told him,
You people are just trying to frustrate me. You are just trying to frustrate me. You want to kill me? You want to kill me You want to kill me, Abby? See, if you know that you cannot do simple chores thoroughly, please don't even help me. I don't need your help. At least I wasn't complaining. And here I was thinking that my chores would be reduced.
I was so angry that I called him names. A lot of things I said that day. But what amazed me was that he was quiet all through my drama. He didn't see anything. And you know what? That even got me more angry. I didn't like the fact that he didn't respond. And all the while, my sister was there. She was trying to communicate something to me. But because I was so angry, I didn't give her attention. I didn't like what was happening at that moment. And I just couldn't hold it to myself. So I did everything I wanted to do. I said everything I wanted to say. And when I was calm, my sister walked up to me and said she was the one that wanted to do her laundry overnight before there was power outage, and that she planned for me to complete the job when she's done with what she's doing. My dear, you can imagine how I felt. I felt terrible. Here I was accusing my husband on what he actually didn't do. Here is my sister telling me she was the one that did that, and then she would complete it later. And here is my husband on the other side, who didn't even pay attention to what I was saying, what I was doing. He didn't respond, he didn't say a word, and there was no expression of anger or anything on his face to show that he didn't like or he was displeased with what I was saying. You know what I did? I just went back to him and apologized, and I was actually sincere with my apology, and I left. And that is actually what happened. So I learned 2 big lessons from it, and that's what I want to share with you. The first lesson I learned is this: do not ever accuse someone wrongly. Don't assume that somebody did something or said something without you verifying first. If you don't assume, then you won't accuse wrongly, because it causes a lot of issues in our relationships and everyday life. And that is the first one. Now, the second one that I hold most dearly to myself is this: silence has a voice. My dear, silence is a language. It can speak. Silence is not actually silent. Most times, many of the issues that we encounter in our relationships could have been avoided if we had not said so much, if we had not done so much, if we had kept quiet. We necessarily do not have to respond to everything somebody says or everything somebody does. Sometimes you just have to calm down, relax, just don't talk. It's not every time that you have to lash out and say, I just have to give it to you, but I can't take this nonsense, nonsense, shit. It doesn't work that way. I have applied it several times in my marriage, and it has worked for me, even though sometimes I often tend to derail. But immediately I realize, I just put myself back together and I just continue with my life. So I just want to tell us here that silence works wonders. Actually, it is very good. This is not to say that you become a fool for love, and I'm not just referring to our relationships as in love relationships, maybe marriage alone. It also applies in our everyday life with our colleagues, our bosses, our friends, our siblings, our parents, everybody. It's not every time that you just have to give it all to that person. Please learn to keep quiet. You can imagine if my husband wasn't silent, if he wanted to reply me, it was going to come from the point of view that I was accusing him wrongly, and you can imagine what that one would have caused, or what that would have caused. So the thing is, Many times when we want to reply to what people have said, or we want to reply them what they have done, and we are doing it in the heat of anger, it's going to cause a wildfire that will actually destroy the relationship. It can destroy opportunities that you're going to have with the other person, destroy a lot of things. We don't need all of this in our lives. Please, let's learn to be calm, even when I believe that there are times that we actually need to talk, we actually need to say something, but don't do it in the heat of anger, because even the Bible says that a gentle answer turns away wrath, but harsh words stirs up anger. You are the one that is angry. You don't know how it's going to land on the other side of the person if you give it to the person hot. And if the person reacts also in a bad way, you just cause a brawl between yourself, you cause a fight, you cause a wildfire that will be so difficult to quench. So please, let's employ this principle of silence. I believe that if that person is reasonable and sensible enough, that person will actually understand that language of silence that you're passing across. What you're saying in silence, that person will definitely learn, that person will definitely understand what you're saying. So this is what I have for you today. The first point that I mentioned earlier is that do not assume somebody said something or did something without you verifying. Not assuming will actually help you not to pass judgment wrongly. So you won't accuse another person wrongly because you already made your findings. And even when you have made your findings and you discover that this person did this thing actually or said this thing, calm down. Make sure that your anger has gone down before you actually talk to the person about it. And secondly, you need to be silent. Don't reply everything. Don't talk every time. Don't reply somebody every time. Don't react every time. Let's just learn to create room for the mistakes of other people so that we can work together in peace and in harmony. And that is what I actually have for us today. I believe that you have learned something from my experience. I also like to balance this by saying that it's not every information that you hear that you apply, because every relationship is peculiar in itself. So I implore you to please, whatever information you have heard, including what I have just said, look at it, sieve it, and then extract the one that you think can work for your relationship and apply it. My name is Bimpe-Kayode. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would like you to share and to let other people also learn from this. Bye.